Are you considering making a move to Franklin, Tennessee? You may be wondering the cost of living. Now, I did do this video in 2020, but things have changed in the matter of 12 months. So in today's video, I'm giving you updated numbers about the cost of living in Franklin. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I'm a local Nashville real estate agent, and I specialize in helping out-of-staters relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the cost of living in Franklin. Yes, like I said, I did this video in 2020, but things have changed dramatically. So I figured it's time to update you with new numbers. So let's go ahead and just dive on in. So as you know, if you did take a look at that 2020 video, I broke down what goes into the cost of living, because if you do the Google research and you are looking at what is the cost of living in Franklin, you're going to come across article after article that talks about the expensiveness of Franklin. But what does that actually mean? So when people are looking at the true cost of living, they are putting together several factors to give you a number as to where it falls in comparison to other places around the country. So they're factoring in things like housing, the cost of healthcare, the cost of groceries, transportation, things like that, schools. All of it gets put into an algorithm and then they spit out a numbers. Now, when you look at all of the factors that go into the cost of living in Franklin, most items are going to be on par with national averages, things like our healthcare, transportation, things of that matter. However, what leads Franklin to be expensive is the cost of housing. So I may be about to give you sticker shock, and I'm sorry, but I've got to give you what the numbers say. So if you watched my video from last year, I talked about what the average housing cost was in Franklin. And that number was right around $522,000 for a single family home in Franklin. Brace yourself. So in Franklin, the average cost of living, the average cost of a single family home in Franklin as of July 2021, the average cost is $934,864. So let's take a look and see what that number actually means, because we're talking about a $400,000 price jump. And before you turn off this video and say Franklin is not affordable, let's actually talk a little bit about what's happened. Let's backtrack. Let's rewind just a little bit. In May of 2020, we started to see this strong demand coming into our market from out-of-state buyers because they could work remote, so they were seeking alternative options to where they were currently living. And that demand grew gradually from month to month through 2020. Then we got to March of 2021, and all of a sudden we saw this massive flood into our market of buyers. We have been dealing with low inventory like many states around the country, but also dealing with extremely high demand. Some of the reasons people are choosing Tennessee, and maybe this is on your list and that's why you're watching this video, but some of the reasons, are the no income tax, the lower property taxes, schools. There's lots of things that go into why people are seeking out Tennessee. And so we saw this massive demand. Yes, we normally have a strong selling season in the spring, but this was unlike anything that people that have even been in the business 30 years have seen. And so because we saw that demand, we saw homes go exceedingly over list price. To kind of give you a reference point, in March of 2021, I was able to secure some sweet buyers of mine their dream home in Franklin, only going 15 over. By March, 15 over was laughed at. By March, home prices were reaching 100 grand plus over asking. So in the sales prices, if you actually start to dig through numbers, what you will see is this past spring, March through July, June in particular, but some in July as well, we were seeing people just throw everything at the offers. And so we were seeing homes consistently go about 100 grand over. I saw as much as 250 over, just depending on the home, the neighborhood. So all of these things factor into why you are now seeing a $400,000 price jump from the average cost of housing from July of 2020 to July of 2021. Also, when looking at these numbers, that's the average sales price of the home that sold in July of 2021. So that also speaks to the prices of the homes that were on the market and what closed in July. So please don't think that the only kind of homes on the market are those that are creeping up to the $1 million mark. There is still plenty of neighborhoods. There are plenty of neighborhoods where you can get in well below that 900 mark. You can still get into Franklin around 550, 600. You can still get into neighborhoods there, but just know when you're looking at the average sales price of a home in Franklin as of July 2021, it was on that upper tier. So again, yes, the price of our houses is driving up our cost of living in Franklin. So just be aware of that. But before you go around and say you can't afford Franklin, this is where we need to actually sit down, have a conversation. What is your budget? What are you looking for? And is that doable in the Franklin area? Again, you can still get in for 700, 650, all of those prices. You can still get into Franklin. There is still inventory out there, but just know that was the average sales price for July of 2021. Now, Franklin wasn't the only one that saw a dramatic price jump in houses from July of this year to July of last year. Now, in the last video about the cost of living in Franklin, I also compared it to Davidson County, which is around the heart of downtown Nashville. If this is your first time even learning about the Franklin area, Franklin is in Williamson County. Davidson County is where the heart of downtown Nashville is. The average sales price in Davidson County in July of 2020 was $316,500. Now, if you're looking at the average sales price, again, of a single family home in Davidson County in July of 2021, the average sales price was just over $505,000. So yes, our home prices across the board have gone up. Now, I know I've mentioned this in previous videos and it's definitely worth repeating here. So across the board in other cities across the US, homes are appreciating at about 1% a month. However, with the demand that we are seeing in our market, homes in the Nashville, Franklin area are actually appreciating closer to 4% a month. So yes, you would be buying on the higher end. However, homes are still expected to continue to appreciate, and being in Franklin, your home is going to continue to hold value and continue to appreciate for years to come for several reasons, okay? Many people that are gravitating towards Williamson County are doing so because of the public school ratings that are in Williamson County. They are some of the highest in the state. So that is a big draw for some people. You also have a booming job economy in Franklin or in the Williamson County area, which is another thing that is drawing people to Franklin. You also have low crime rate. So put those items together and it is going to hold its value. It is why people are coming here. So that's one thing to consider, because no matter where you look, there's going to be pros and cons wherever you may be, but Franklin in general has held its value. Homes have continued to appreciate, and they're only projected to continue to appreciate as the years go on. And we are continuing to see businesses come here, relocate their headquarters here to the Middle Tennessee area. So because of that, you can expect home prices to continue to appreciate. You can't expect home prices to go up. So these are just things to keep in mind. So when you look at the cost of living in Franklin versus the cost of living elsewhere in Tennessee, the cost of living in Franklin is going to be 47.4% higher than other parts of the state. So if you look at the cost of Franklin versus the national average, Franklin will be sitting at about 35% higher than the national average. But again, it's those home prices that are continuing to drive up why Franklin is considered to be more expensive than other places. But again, there are a lot of benefits and positives to the Franklin area that can outweigh that cost of living. So these are all things to consider if you are looking to make a move to the Franklin area. Please don't hesitate to reach out. All of my contact information is below, and you can grab my free Nashville relocation guide down below. Just click the link. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I'm Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.